Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. It looks like I finally got us live on YouTube, and I hope everybody's there. And it looks like I'm getting people that are joining, which is really wonderful. And it's so wonderful to see everyone here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Okay. And there we go. It took me a second, but I'm on, I'm live, and I'm happy as a lark to be here. It looks like I finally got us live on YouTube. And whoops, hang on a minute. Got to do something here. I'm getting people that are joining, which is really wonderful. And it's okay. We had an echo, and that's why I'm on my headphones so that we don't echo. So I could turn my computer down, so I apologize for that, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves started on our event. So I do know that there's a lot of people that are on YouTube already. They've been joining, and I'm very excited about that. I also am very excited that we have a whole bunch of great speakers here today that will be speaking, so it's going to be a wonderful evening. So again, I want to welcome everybody to the second annual virtual Dana Night Out. Next year we'll be live, I promise you. I got that from a good source, too. So our Dana board will be here, and they will be online, and you'll be able to meet them as we go along for the event. And there's also some Q codes that you guys can see. So those of you that know QR codes, you can take a picture with your phone and actually get to the website that the Q code is allotted with. Like, this is Contra Costa Mosquito Vector, and you can get on with that. I also am really excited that we have Zoom breakout rooms this time. This is going to be really fun, and this is the schedule for it. So if you are on YouTube, which I know many of you are, you can join on your phone if you want to go talk to some of these people or go play some games in the fun and community room and talk to some neighbors. Go to the art at 8710. We're going to do some cakewalks, which are going to be virtual cakewalks, but they'll be fun. And you could win, actually, with these games. You could win some gift cards, $10, I believe it is. Or no, it's $20. I forgot. But you'll be able to win some gift cards to Dairy Queen. So that's going to be fun. And then there's other things that are going on in the other rooms. So I really hope that you join these wonderful Zoom rooms. So at any time you can watch it on YouTube and then step away if you have questions or you want to go play some games or have a little fun in some of the other rooms. So please come join the Zoom section of it to have a lot of fun. But now, we also, by the way, I forgot, is the scavenger hunt. So we are going to have our scavenger hunt. So when you see the words on the screen, just like this one, the word together, write it down. And then once you have all of the words, it will say last word. You'll get all the words. I want you to make a sentence out of that. Then you want to email it to the sentence to chair@danastates.org. That again is, and I'll tell you again later, trust me. And you could win not only a barbecue from Ace Hardwares, but also $55 courtesy of Dana Plaza. So you'll get the barbecue plus $55 so you can go buy those steaks to put on the Barbie, okay? So definitely want to watch for those words. And if you happen to be in one of the Zoom rooms, don't worry. We're going to announce the words on the top as well while you're in the room, so you're not going to miss any words. Just so you know. So those words will be everywhere in all of the rooms. And if you happen to be on YouTube, which I know many of you are, you'll see it here in the main room, and you'll be able to see the words. And definitely I want you guys to obviously enter too, because you guys are wonderful. And you just basically will email it to chair@danastates.org when you see the last word, and you'll have like 15 minutes to send me your sentence, okay? But now I'm very excited to introduce Caitlin Sly. Caitlin is the executive director at Meals on Wheels, and they have supported Dana for so many years. And I'm really excited that she is here. Caitlin, are you here?
I'm here.
Well, welcome, Caitlin. So let me go ahead and welcome you again. And if you want to share your screen too, you may, but take it away, Caitlin.
I'll let you've got my slides, so I will let you keep sharing the screen. And thank you so much for having me, and for all of you who are tuning in on YouTube. I really appreciate it. As Colleen mentioned, I'm Caitlin Sly. I'm the Executive Director with Meals on Wheels Diablo region. And so I appreciate you all having me here tonight and to get to talk to you all and to share a little bit about our organization. And just really briefly, the mission of our organization is to really enhance the lives of older adults by delivering healthy meals, but also providing an array of supportive services that really empower seniors to live independently and safely with dignity. So while you can tell in our name, Meals on Wheels, obviously delivering home delivered meals is the core of what we do. Providing wraparound services is really part of what we do. That is one of the reasons I wanted to come to this organization and what I think makes us so much more special. So while you may hear of a lot of different Meals on Wheels out there, remember that Meals on Wheels Diablo region is the one that is more than a meal. And we really deliver a lot of wraparound services. So obviously, we deliver home delivered meals, which is for homebound seniors and people who just can't get out to get to a meal for various reasons. We deliver to them and also provide a wellness check. You know, for many of the people we serve, the volunteer that delivers a meal may be the only person they see each day. And so it's really important for us to connect with them and to check in on them and connect with their family. If there are times that we come and we knock on the door and nobody comes to the door, and we're able to see that somebody has fallen the night before. So it's really important for us to be able to provide that wellness check in addition to providing the core nutrition that our seniors need. We also have 6 different cafes throughout the county. And so that's where our more mobile older adults can come and sit down and have a meal. And obviously, everything changed with the pandemic, and we ended up delivering to a lot of those seniors and providing to-go meals for those who could come and pick up. But in a normal world, we provide a sit-down meal for folks who want to come in and socialize and have that interaction. And we have games and speakers and all kinds of things. So we're really looking forward to those opening back up, hopefully in the beginning of July, and being able to provide those services again. But I did say we are more than a meal. So to talk about all of our other services that really serve all of the needs that someone who is aging may have. We also have a friendly visitor program, and that really is meant to combat the loneliness that folks so often face when they are aging. I mean, oftentimes as we age, some of us may outlive our family members and our friends and no longer have people around to spend time with. But that social connection, as we all have learned this past year, the social connection with other people is so vital to us. And so for that reason, we have a friendly visitor program where we will match isolated seniors with volunteers, and they will provide each other with companionship and friendship. And so we do that, and that has been a really amazing program. We actually have one match where every week, one of our seniors and their volunteer go out every week for a beer and a burger. And that's their connection, and that's what they like to do. And so that provides them, you know, the enjoyment of having something to do every week and really, you know, connecting on that level. We also do that over the phone. So you can imagine during COVID how important that was. We had to transition all of those in-person visits to be over the phone. And so thank goodness we had been doing that before the pandemic for some of our clients that maybe we didn't have a volunteer that was able to do in-person visits, but they could connect and just wanted to chat over the phone. And so that has been a real lifeline for us as well. We also have health and wellness classes. So those are exercise and nutrition classes, everything from Tai Chi to something called Bingo Size, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's bingo and exercise. So we'll call a number and then you do exercises between calling the numbers. And so as you can imagine with COVID, we had to transition that to doing those via Zoom and over the phone and some outdoors. So those were really popular, and we do an exercise class down at the Concord Senior Center. So I encourage everyone to check those out. Those are outdoors as well. But those really keeping the people we serve healthy and mobile and active, which is so important when it comes to our health. And then we also have fall prevention classes. So those are exercise and balance classes. And then also as part of our fall prevention, we'll actually go into the home and have an occupational therapist that will go in and do a full assessment of the home, assess whether maybe someone needs a grab bar or a railing or a shower chair. And then we'll have a contractor go out and do the work all free of charge to help keep the seniors that we serve healthy and safe. And then lastly, we also have a care management department. So any of the services that we have, if we can't meet the needs of the person who is reaching out to us for help, that's where our care managers come in. And they really are able to assess what other needs someone may have and reach out to the other services that exist in the community that may be able to provide those services. So they may help investigate issues of elder abuse. We have an elder abuse prevention specialist who's one of our staff members. They may help prevent evictions, connect with legal services, so a whole host of other issues. So as you can imagine with COVID, the need for our services just increased exponentially. We saw about a 40% increase in the need for our home delivered meals. Huge increase in the number of people who wanted friendly visiting and calling. Obviously, we couldn't do the in-person visits, but people just really suffering from isolation, as I know we all felt. That was especially felt stronger among seniors who really were struggling before the pandemic, being isolated, but then all of a sudden were even more trapped inside their homes and being told, this pandemic is going to affect you more than anyone else, and you are at risk. So the fear and the isolation was really pronounced. And so we had to really reassure them and make sure that we were reaching out more. And so we increased the amount that we check in with clients and that we call. We also had to create some new programs. So we started the breakfast bag program, which we knew before the pandemic that one daily meal is not enough. But what we found out throughout the pandemic is that the seniors that we serve oftentimes relied on a social safety net to get them extra food that kind of disintegrated during the pandemic. So I was talking to one client who said, oh, well, you know, before the pandemic, I used to have my young friend who came and helped bring me groceries. She's in her 90s and her young friend is in his late 70s. So, you know, young is relative. And her young friend was now sheltering at home. And so we really realized there was a need for additional food. So by creating the breakfast bag program, we are delivering a week's worth of breakfast foods like yogurt and string cheese, and fresh fruit and whole wheat muffins and things like that, so that the people we serve have additional food to eat throughout the day. Because we heard that, you know, our clients were portioning their meals to eat part of it in the morning and part of it for dinner, and we don't want that. We also partnered with the Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano to start the grocery bag program, where we have the volunteers that will deliver bags of groceries to our homebound clients, also for additional food. And we were able to partner with the City of Concord and Mount Diablo Unified School District to start the Neighbor Express program, where we had volunteers that ran errands for Concord seniors and delivered meals as well. So we've been able to kind of innovate and change and create new programs during this time. But one thing that we know is that the people that we serve are not going to bounce back quickly. They have been isolated for more than a year. They haven't necessarily been up and moving. And, you know, folks have been physically deteriorating. So we know that the demand for our services is going to remain high. We also know that many of the people that came to us during the pandemic should have been coming to us before then. They just heard about us because of the pandemic. And so we don't see the need going down anytime soon. And we also know that the population of older adults is growing. And so if there is any silver lining to COVID, we do hope that it is a growing awareness of the needs of older adults in our community. But we definitely need the help of community members now more than ever. So I'm really happy to be able to present to you all and talk a little bit about our services. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, either now if we have time or later in the breakout rooms. So thank you.
Yep. So most definitely, hang on a moment. Let me just get back up here again. I'm still sharing. Okay, hang on a minute. For some reason, I'm not changing screens. And I thank you so much, definitely, for being here, Caitlin. She is going to be, by the way, in break room number 2, which is a senior room. And you can move around to any room you want to move to. But she will be there until 7:05. Answering any questions you may have. So if you happen to be on YouTube, this is the time to join Zoom. When you click on zoom.us, it's going to say join meeting. You enter in the ID code 848-8000-7270 into the section that says join meeting. The passcode is, of course, Dana, capital D, capital E, capital N, capital A. You can also take your phone and just shine it on that QR code, and it will take you right there. And then you can move over to the Zoom room and be able to talk to people or move into the fun community and have some fun with games. In the animal room, you can share your animal and say hi to Arf. They'll be in there. So definitely. But Caitlin, I'm so happy that you were here for Meals on Wheels. And I did hope you guys took a look at the bottom of the screen because the next word for that scavenger hunt for that $55 and the barbecue is a wonderful word called make. So definitely you want to go ahead and use that word. And I'm going to be sending that out to everyone. And I now would like to introduce Lisa. Lisa, are you here? No, wait a minute. Not Lisa. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Kim. Kim, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, Kim, are you here? I'm sorry.
No
Kim,
worries.
are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Kim is actually our Area 3 rep, and she also put up those beautiful signs around the neighborhood. So Kim is a great addition to our board for sure. And take it away, Kim.
Great. Well, I thank you for that, Colleen, and thank you for everybody who's here this evening. I have the pleasure of introducing Kevin Cabral. Kevin is the president and CEO of the Concord Chamber of Commerce. And even more importantly, when I called to ask him to do this, or when I emailed to ask him to do this, he reminded me that he is a resident of Dana Estates. So we have our own neighbor here to talk to you this evening. So Kevin, you have about 15 minutes to tell us about the Chamber and what's going on in business in Concord.
Great, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully people can see it. Are we seeing it? Can I get a heads up or a yes?
Yes, we
or-
are. I'm seeing it. Looks
Okay,
great.
great. So I'll go through this doc here. I can't change the view that I have. Let me see. I can. I'm good. We'll just go with this. Yeah. Hey, I'm a lifelong resident of Concord, California. I've grown up in Dana Estates. I was born and raised on St. Michael's Court, which is right off of Elkwood. About a half hour ago, I just finished mowing the lawns at Geringer Pool. So I'm ingrained in this community and have been for 55 years. So I love it. So a little bit about me and how I got involved with the chamber is I was going along in my career for 20 years and things changed. Caitlin Sly hired me, as a matter of fact. I'll always be indebted to her for that. And I landed in the chamber. The chamber has a long history in Concord, about 80 years and change. We do a lot of wonderful things for the business community. And so I've been in the position about a year and 6-7 months. So pretty much 2 months in, hello COVID, and on with the chamber and helping our small businesses kind of navigate their way through it. In reality, it was a blessing in disguise because the chamber was due for a little bit of a change. And this enabled me and the 3 other staff that we have to embrace it and kind of go for it. So what I'm going to do is go over a little bit about what the chamber's about. And then at the end of my presentation, I have a couple of slides that kind of discuss what we've done to support small business, as well as kind of what I'm hearing about where businesses are at right now as we pull through the end of this pandemic, hopefully. So we have a commitment in the chamber, and this is all pretty new stuff, but we are looking to do what we can to increase profitability in small businesses, which is, we offer different services. It's not something tangible, like we don't give money or anything like that, but we're really trying to help folks out, especially our smaller businesses, kind of, if they need help with marketing or they need help navigating through a grant or a loan or something like that, that keeps them going, and also sharing information about businesses, both to the community and to business relationships. We like to strengthen our leverage and advocacy, like the slide says. We're here to help businesses if they need to message up to city council or staff or even to the state. We're here to help them and be advocates for business so they can be heard. We work a lot with state government, county, local. So it's something we pride ourselves on. And it was a mission when I was hired that we'd have a much more stronger advocacy input. So it's been pretty interesting to see that works, and it's something we offer to business. So chambers are very well known throughout everywhere of their networking abilities, and it's a big deal. I've been involved in chambers in my past life, but not nearly how I am today, but it does matter. I mean, it's important that the chamber connects businesses to business, and we can work together and help each other grow and also know what other people are doing in the business. So, and then improve sense of community. Our chamber really is committed to being there for small business, medium, large businesses, and know that, we're that catalyst in that community to help everybody kind of stay together and make connections. And through COVID, it's been incredible how that has helped people cope, grow, overcome some big hurdles. And I'm really proud of the work we have done with the business community. So what we do is the chamber, the events are a big deal. We get asked more and more, especially now after June 15th, of how are these events going to go, and events are a big part of what we do. And we've kind of landed on virtual, in-person, and hybrid style events. Some people want to be in person, some want to be virtual. We're really going to try to master the hybrid event. What we have found is that we cast a much larger net when we have a virtual possibility, and we can get some significant business leaders and community leaders on our call to, give input or hear what the community is saying, just out of a sense of time. To drive from one end of Concord to the other is a half hour-ish, maybe more pending. So we know we want to kind of hybrid our events and make them, user-friendly for whoever wants to come. And some of the better events that we have are listed here. Our First Friday Coffee is the first Friday of every month. I would encourage you to go to our website, take a look at it, and see if you want to join anything. So you don't have to be a member. We'd love for you to show up and provide input or listen to what others in our business community are talking about. And then just if I was to read down the list, we have women's networking groups, which are great. And they used to involve a luncheon and all this stuff, and that may come back. And we have great speakers that come to those. Our government and economic policy committee, we have excellent speakers that come to those on significant things that are happening in Concord. We've had assemblymen there. We've had Karen Mitchoff from the supervisors come and speak to us. We've had Gomentum, which is doing the virtual cars out in the Naval Weapons Station. We've also had speakers come and talk to us. These are all within the last 3 or 4 months about what's going on in Buchanan Airfield with the drone technology. So there's really interesting topics that are beneficial to the business mindset of Concord and kind of where it's driving to provide, jobs where people can work and live in this community. For those of us who lived here forever, you've seen it change dramatically over the years. So it's important that we bring those jobs that kind of covers everybody's needs. We have some mixers, after-hour mixers. BRG is great. We love to introduce new businesses to BRG. It's ran by our sales director, William Chan, and it's a great mixer, and you kind of get a feel of what, working with other businesses is like, and we help these folks grow and kind of learn the basics and also advancement of how good networking can work for your business. And then we have some of our larger events, which the mayor's State of the City, and we have installation dinners for our board of directors. Caitlin's been to that. But we did our first virtual mayor's State of the City this year, and it was very well received, and they're fun. And the who's who of what's and the whatever that is, they attend those things. And so we get to bend their ear and hear their voice, which is always good. A big thing that came out of this my year taking over is I was committed to providing training. For small businesses, there's a lot of mandated training that's coming out through the state of California. Probably the most important is anti-harassment training. And a lot of the businesses may not be aware of, the different trainings they should be providing to their employees. So anti-harassment, diversity, inclusion, a variety of different work-related topics including like COVID. We offer those all online, and they're all virtual. You take them, you're certified, you get a nice little certificate mailed to you, and then as a small business owner, you can be compliant. Which is interesting is some small business owners don't realize they need these things. And then it's not like if you're working at your big company where they provide this for you. We are now providing them a portal, which is on our website, for them to go to. And for $20, you can get your employees compliant. I think it's something important. We're trying to grow it. They're both in English and in Spanish. We offer a variety of different topics to hopefully make that a useful tool to small businesses in this community. And then we have many of the topics I showed in the prior screen where we have expert presenters come in, talk about HR, safety, work-related topics. So we're always trying to put that stuff out, knowledge. Our website, if you go to concordchamber.com, we've been really working on our website through the pandemic and prior. Kind of the big thing is we like our web page to be easily navigated, although it's not, but we continue to work on that. But one of the big things is job postings and employment opportunities. We hear this a lot. Honestly, I hear it every single day, multiple times a day. So we are committed to kind of making a robust page on our website and grow it so we become that place where people can look for people that want to live, work, and support Concord. So we're no LinkedIn or anything like that, but we're headed in that direction, I hope, as part of our offering for the Concord community. And then, we'll have press releases. And then what's important to this group, if you're not part of the chamber, is check out our events page. I would do it sooner rather than later, as things are still virtual. You can dip your toe in the water and see kind of what we have going on at the chamber and see if it's your cup of tea. And maybe if you find things interesting, you may want to, climb on board as a business, or give some input to us so we can improve for everybody. Okay, so here's kind of the good part. That's all the chamber stuff. Love you to be a chamber member. It's wonderful. So it's really been incredible to be in my position during this pandemic, because you see on the news all of the stuff what's going on and how small businesses are being affected and kind of what they're going through. And a lot of it's true. And you hear of businesses closing down and, those types of things, and folks couldn't make it, or they couldn't find financial stability one way or another. But I was in the weeds, like literally. And what I've come from, and I'm always one to kind of put things on a positive message, but the Concord business community is strong and we're resilient. And these folks that have these small businesses, they knuckled up and they stood up and they worked through it. I mean, some challenges, and it was amazing to see how many were giving more than they were receiving without question. I think that some of us, it makes us proud to live in this community, because these folks, they did what they needed to do. The second thing that I realized is all those little doors you see up by Diablo Foods, well, where Diablo Foods used to be, which is Fitness 19, or if you go down Treat, those truly are family-owned business. It's like mom and dad, maybe a kid or two that they're probably putting through college, that was probably helping them in a variety of different ways that we may not recognize, but it definitely needs to be recognized. The family business is strong and big in Concord. All the nail salons, all the barber shops, all those things are a couple of, for the most part, if they're family owned and operated, and it's really a beautiful thing. It also was something that maybe didn't enable them to receive the type of funding that other places were getting. So, and the other thing, which was great to see, and you don't hear it, but it's true, is there were some really good landlord and tenant relationships going on. Not every landlord's this gigantic landlord making billions of dollars sitting on a yacht. A lot of landlords are family-owned businesses that need the rent from the tenants for their survival. So it was great in working through all this to see those relationships and how well they work together. In some cases, it didn't all work out, that's for sure. But in a lot of cases, it was a nice thing. Am I almost out of time?
You are. Thank you.
Okay, cool. That's all I need. All right. Wow, that went quick. So here's our website. I didn't hear the chime, so I was waiting for the chime.
I actually muted myself and didn't realize I didn't unmute myself, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem. Here's our website. Here's this. Come check us out at the Concord Chamber. See us anytime. We're always here. We've been here for 80 years. We're not going anywhere. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Kevin, thank you for that. That was spectacular. Very, very, very great. And just be warned that we might actually come and bug you about joining the Dana Estates board. So just put that in the back of your mind and wait to hear from us at a later date.
All right, cool.
Kevin and I are going to move to Zoom room number 5, where we'll be available to take questions and facilitate conversation over there. So if you have questions for the chamber, we will be in Zoom room number 5. So I'm going to hand it over now to Lisa McClellan so she can take it from here.
All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. I just wanted to let everybody know that we've got a garage sale coming up September 18th. Should be on the slide, but I don't see a slide. But
well, hang on a minute. I'm getting the slide back up again. I apologize. I'm having trouble getting back on again, so bear with me. Okay. And before you guys look at that slide, I did want to let you guys know there's the next word for neighborhood. That's the next word for the scavenger hunt is neighborhood.
All right. And then garage sale September 18th from 8 to 2. So get your stuff ready, sign up, sellingdanaestates.com, click on garage sale and sign up. The more people we get to sign up, the bigger the outreach will be for people to come shop. So list what you're going to be selling, and we'll have maps out for everybody on that day in the morning. So that's it. Do that. Tell your neighbors September 18th. Now we have Cooper Reeves with the Contra Costa Water District. And Cooper, go ahead and take it away.
And I'm unmuted. There we go. Okay, and the screen, we're good? All right. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. My name's Cooper Reeves. I'm with the Contra Costa Water District, and I'm a water efficiency specialist there. And today, I'm going to be going over how to drought-proof your home and how you can save water for the years to come. But first, I would like to go over the state's water supply and the current drought situation. And as you can see from the map here, most of California is in extreme drought. And there are several areas, including Contra Costa County, that are in exceptional drought. So it's a pretty dire situation for the state of California. We received far less precipitation in snowpack than in previous years and compared to our average. Precipitation was only 46% of average, and snowpack was only 40% of average. And the runoff that we would get from that snowpack, what we expected to receive and on the reservoirs was far less than what was anticipated. So, you know, we're in a significant drought, and this is a second dry year. So, as far as our local water supply for Contra Costa Water District, you know, a large portion of our water comes from Lake Shasta. Now that's only 41% full. So, but we're in actually a really decent, pretty okay position. Because we invested in Los Vaqueros Reservoir, which is now 78% full, we have a reliable supply of water during the drought, which is going to make a big difference. Combined that with continued water efficiency efforts from our community and making water conservation a way of life since the last drought puts us in a far better position than many other water districts where you're seeing mandatory drought reductions. So our board will be meeting on July 7th, and they'll be voting on a drought management plan, which will likely be a voluntary, propose a voluntary reduction of 10%. So way better than some mandatory restrictions that you're seeing of 35, 40%, you know, in the North Bay. Otherwise, we'll be doing continued public education outreach, and we continue to encourage people to use water efficiently and to utilize our rebates and our resources that are available. Check out our website at ccwater.com/conserve. Our two biggest programs are Lawn to Garden program, and that is you can get $1,000 up to $1,000 to convert your lawn to a low water use garden. And then WaterWise house calls, where we'll come out and help you with your water use at your house and review your landscaping and irrigation and give you a recommended irrigation schedule. So all that's the WaterWise house calls that's free. So definitely recommend that for everyone. We do have water use prohibitions that we implemented since the last drought, such as failure to repair a leak, causing excess water runoff, watering during rainfall or after rainfall, watering between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., and using a hose without a shutoff valve to wash a car or anything else, washing of hardscapes for non-sanitary purposes, and using potable water in a non-recirculating fountain. And these prohibitions are available on our website as well, but hopefully there to keep us using water efficiently in the community. So I wanted to really emphasize where our water comes from. A large portion of our water comes from snowpack in the Sierras, and that makes its way, it melts, it comes down rivers, it goes into the Delta. And so our water, we pump from 3 locations in the Delta, and that makes its way to our treatment plants and then to your home. And so it's a really important process and cycle that we rely on every single day. Now, what we're seeing with droughts is that snowpack is reduced, not just temporarily, but with climate change, it's becoming more permanent. We're getting less and less snowpack with climate change predictions. And so droughts are also going to more than likely be more intense and more frequent. So that really makes water efficiency, getting to be water efficient now, a high priority. I think everyone should do what they can to improve their water efficiency. It not only reduces your water bills, you're going to save water, you're going to save money. That water is going to stay in the rivers and the Delta, which will help with Delta wildlife and fish species. And ultimately, you're building drought resiliency. A front yard that's low water use or drought tolerant plants is going to be way more resilient through mandatory restrictions in the future than a lawn that might have to be let go completely. So I think it can actually, it's the future for home values, I personally think. So as far as how much water you use in your home, the average family, it uses 150 gallons per day in the wintertime. And then when irrigation season comes back on, it goes up to 360 gallons per day on average. So imagine 360 of these gallons sitting in your front yard, in the lawn or in the shrubs. Some would be inside too. It's a lot of water, and a lot of it is going into the outside. It's primarily irrigation and landscaping, a large portion of single-family residential water use. Faucets and showers, they use 9%. Clothes washers are 12%, and toilets are 15%. Now leaks, on this chart, it only shows 4%, but many studies show that they're easily up to 12% for single-family residential customers. So trying to find those leaks and addressing outside water use is really going to be the way towards water savings. So I want to really first to dive into the indoor water savings that you can achieve. And you may have done some of these things already, but basically making sure you've updated your clothes washers, you have high efficiency toilets, and you have high efficiency shower heads. Now with the older clothes washers, they used up to 45 gallons of water per cycle. And now the new clothes washers, they only use 13 gallons or less. So what you're going to want to look for, when you're shopping is just look for the Energy Star logo. And that'll save you up to 9,000 gallons of water per year and up to $200 in energy costs compared to the older machines. So typically they're front loaders, but they are starting to make them top loader as well. But front loaders by far most efficient. So toilets, you know, they've gone down significantly in water volume over time. You know, and they got a really bad rap in the 90s and early 2000s. The 1.6 gallon per flush, they didn't perform very well. They didn't work. But the current 1.28s and even less now, they re-engineered the toilets and they work really, really well. The performance is very high. And so upgrading your toilets, that'll save you about 8,000 gallons per year, if not more. As I said, since the engineering's changed, the performance is way better. And in what I always recommend people to is the maptesting.com. And that's a third-party testing website that basically checks the performance of these toilets. And so the best performers are over 600 grams per flush. I recommend 1,000. So, but that's what you want to check when purchasing a toilet. Now, as far as toilet leaks, they're the most common leak ever. It's the main leak we'll find in households. So we really recommend doing a toilet leak check. We give out free dye tablets at the Contra Costa Water District. And what you do is you drop them in the tank, wait about 15 minutes, check the water in the bowl. The water should be clear. If it's blue, it means that that water has leaked through. This flapper valve right here will often go bad. So you might have to replace your flapper. The other things you really want to check for, you want to make sure your water level is not overflowing into the fill tube. And you want to make sure your chain is adjusted properly, not too short, not too long, that's not getting stuck under the flapper. And of course that your handle's working. So that's a really great thing you can do. Do the toilet leak dye tab tests. Now, as far as shower heads, they're 1.75 gallons per minute that we give out for free. That's the only thing you can buy in California. And the ones we do give out do have a built-in shutoff valve that can be quite helpful when showering. So otherwise, indoors, check for other leaks in your usual locations. Since it can be up to 12% of use, the chances are you might have a leak. So check your toilet, check your irrigation valves, check your pool fill valve if you have a pool, make sure that's operating properly, your outdoor faucets, a water softener even, and the water lines in and under the house. But by far, the biggest savings that you're gonna get are in the landscape. And there are actions that you can take that are no cost savings, that will give you no cost water savings, low cost savings, and then there are ones that require a larger investment to get those savings. So I'm going to go through those. As far as the no cost savings that you have, the best thing you can do is to adjust your watering schedule regularly. Once a month, adjust your watering schedule. Stop overwatering established shrubs and inspect your irrigation system regularly. All these are free. As for the adjusting your watering schedule, we recommend to water in the early morning, not during the day, not right before sunup. We recommend using multiple cycles. So instead of one long run time, you split your run time up into multiple cycles, and that prevents runoff. Our clay soil can't handle that. We recommend using multiple programs. So instead of putting everything on one program, all your zones, all your stations, you put them on your turf grass or high water use plants on one program that can be irrigated frequently. And then you put your shrubs, low water use plants on another program, which can be irrigated far less frequently. And that's how you're going to achieve water savings. So, and then of course, adjusting your watering days as the season changes. And so what we recommend is to use our lawn and landscape watering schedule. And that's available online at ccwater.com/conserve. And this is kind of what it looks like, or one side of it. It gives you for landscape, for shrubs, plants, and then for lawn, different sprinkler types, and it'll tell you how many cycles to run, how long to run them for, and then how often to run, depending on the month that you're in. So, July is being the peak month. So I recommend everyone download this guide off our website. It's a great resource. So the no cost savings, not overwatering your shrubs. Drought tolerant, low water use plants do not need more than 1 day per week. They just don't. So another reason for multiple programs. Your higher use shrubs may need 2, max of 3 days a week in July. So the other things you can do is inspect your irrigation system. And you're going to be checking for broken sprinklers. You're going to be checking for blocked sprinkler heads, maybe even sunken heads. Raising that head up is going to provide better coverage, better than upping your minutes on the controller. Misting, where we might recommend a pressure reducer at your irrigation valves to resolve that problem. And then misdirected heads, going around and making sure your heads are irrigating what they should be. And then drip systems, making sure there's no breaks in your drip tubing. So those are all the free ones. Now, as far as small investment, you can add mulch in the shrub beds. You can upgrade your sprinklers. You can convert your sprinklers to a drip system in shrub areas, and you can purchase a smart irrigation controller. So mulch is a great product. It retains your soil moisture, it reduces weeds, it protects the roots of your plants, and it improves the soil. So I highly recommend you install mulch in your shrub bed areas. Now, another small investment you can make is you can upgrade to multi-stream rotating nozzles. That's this type of nozzle here. Switching those out will improve coverage dramatically and improve the efficiency of your landscape irrigation system for a relatively low cost. You can convert your sprinklers to drip irrigation, where you can apply water directly to the source that it's needed. And then, of course, you can purchase a smart irrigation controller where you can review your irrigation settings. You can, turn on an irrigation system from your sofa watching TV. Or you can go out into the garden and turn on station 1, turn on station 2, and do your walkthrough. They irrigate based on the weather and the plant parameters that you put in, and they adjust automatically. So we have a rebate for that. Now, the largest investment that you can make is replacing your lawn with a water-wise landscape. So converting turf to a low water use. And we've done many thousands of properties across Contra Costa Water District have gone through our rebate program, where you can get up to $1,000 to remove your turf and put in low water use plants. Now that is $1 per square foot that will give you. So depending on the size of your landscape. So I gave you a lot of information real quick, limited time. So for the indoor water savings, make sure to upgrade your clothes washers, make sure your toilets are upgraded so they're not leaking. Your shower heads are upgraded. For the landscape water savings, they're no cost savings. Adjust your watering schedule monthly. Stop overwatering your shrubs and inspect your irrigation system. No cost. Small investment for savings, add mulch, upgrade your sprinklers, and convert sprinklers to drip in your shrub areas, and purchase a smart irrigation controller and go through our rebate program. And then a large investment for savings would be doing a lawn conversion and trying to go through our rebate program. So drought proofing your home, it really does work. So my supervisor, he lives in a community of 50 similar homes. And over time, he's done everything, right? He's replaced his clothes washer, he's replaced his toilets, his shower heads, he did his landscaping. Now his behavior is more conserving than others, but he is saving a tremendous amount of water compared to the average resident in the neighborhood. And it's only decreased over time. Here in 2017, he was using the average resident 280 gallons per day. He's down to 110 gallons per day on average for the year. So it's 50% less than the typical household. He saved over 627,000 gallons in the past 10 years. So a lot of water. So what I would ask of you is where can you save water the most in your household? Take a look, compare your winter use to your summer use, see how much you're irrigating. Is it time to upgrade some of your fixtures? How many people do you have in your home? Is your winter use seem normal for the number of people in your home? How big is your landscape? Is it time to remove some lawn, perhaps? So I definitely recommend taking action, and I really recommend everyone sign up for mywaterreport.com, where you can view your historical use going back several years. You can set leak alerts, high use notifications as well. And if you need additional assistance, you can always do a WaterWise house call, and the contact information is here. And then again, you can get that from our website at ccwater.com/conserve. So that is about all I have for this evening. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I'll be in room 4 to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cooper. Appreciate you sharing with us. And breakout room 4, if you have any questions for Cooper. I'd like to introduce Angela. She's our Area 1 rep. So take it away, Angela.
There's the Zoom rooms. Angela, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone. How are you? Great. So just quickly to kind of break up things, since we're hitting that halfway point of our wonderful virtual night out, we're going to do this we're going to kind of lead off with some local trivia fun based off of our hometown of wonderful Concord. So if everyone's ready, or the history of Concord. So if everyone's ready, we'll go ahead and start with question 1. What year was the city of Concord founded? Now you can type this in the chat or you can yell it out, but if you think it'd be better, maybe we kind of kept it to the chat if possible. Mark, I see you maybe Googling over there the answer. I gotcha. All right, any guesses? No answer?
Oh, come on, guys, you can do it.
Think of maybe some of the pictures on the Buttercup wall. Lots of fun facts over there.
Okay.
So the answer of the year is 1869. So fun fact, you can memorize this and share this with your friends and your family when we're done here. All right, trivia number 2, what was the first name of Concord?
Come on, Kimberly, you must know this one.
Guesses. There's usually events at
Todos Santos.
Yay! Who said that?
Roddy!
Woo! Oh, Roddy.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, buddy. All right. So what was the first name of Concord? Todos Santos. You are right. Okay. And then what was the naval weapons station before it was granted to the Navy? So what was the original use of that land before it was given to the naval weapons?
Anyone want to make a guess?
Orchard.
The safe guess.
Good guess.
It was a wheat farm. My original guess, I think, was a farm, and then I think somebody else guessed almonds. So I think those are all kind of good answers, but the right answer we're looking for is wheat farm. All right, this is what was the estimated population of Concord in 1953 when the first homes were built in Dana Estates? Anybody?
Come on.
14,000 from Sarah. That's a really good guess, Sarah. Thank you. Anyone
Let's
else?
see what. Oops. Hide the answer.
Oh, yeah, you were halfway. You were about halfway over the mark, but 6,975 was the population.
Can you believe how big we've grown?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I think
Okay.
we have one more question lined up.
I wish I owned a wheat farm back then.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't we all, right? What was the population of Concord in 1970, about the time, which was about the time the last home was built in Dana Estates. So it's not exactly 1970, but it's, I think about early 1970s, maybe 1974, right, Colleen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was that population in just 20 short years? What did the population jump to?
30,000?
Good guess. Any other guesses?
Oops. Oops.
All right.
I'm gonna go with about 112,000.
There you go, 36.
No.
So
Google is not always right.
no.
No, they're not.
Oh my gosh. All right. And so the answer is 85,164. So
Can you believe that was 1970 and now it's only 2021? In that short time, how big we've grown. Wow. And we do have wonderful people too. And I did want to, by the way, mention Kim, our code enforcement person, is online watching along with us. So thank you, Kim, by the way. Just wanted to say that.
What is the population today?
Well, now we've got to Google that.
I think that's the 112,000 that you found.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's today's
Yep.
population.
That is correct. Yep.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for playing that game with us. So right now we've got a really great opportunity to hear Stuart Proctor talk to us about the volunteer options and just how you can connect and learn more about ARF. So go ahead, Stuart, take it away.
I'm here. And if everybody can see, you've got the slides in front of you. I'm going to just narrate this set of slides. And I want Colleen to know I'm starting my stopwatch, so I'll stay on time. But I wanted you to see, obviously, many of you in the Concord and the surrounding areas here, communities, know about Tony LaRussa's Animal Rescue Foundation. If you Google Animal Rescue Foundation, you'll find thousands of them. So the fact that it's Tony LaRussa's is important to the title, basically because it's not a name that we own, the ARF part, but it's become known as ARF in this community and many other communities that have similarly named facilities. And you can move to the next slide. That's our front door. Most of you know it's at roughly at the intersection of Oak Grove and Mitchell Drive in the Bishop. I started to say Bishop Ranch. You can help me with that neighborhood. I've forgotten now, walking on it. But it's been there for 30 years. So this is the 30th anniversary of ARF's existence. People rescuing animals and animals rescuing people has been our motto for a long time. We also, at least with regard to dogs who are often leashed, we talk about working with both ends of the leash, paying attention to the relationship between people and their animals, and doing what we can. And what makes ARF so unique to most of the county shelters with whom we do business is we have this whole educational component that goes along with what we do. And it's a big part of it. And I'll be talking more about that in the breakouts later. There's a charity navigator, which is if you give, donate, or want to learn about impartially about nonprofits, Charity Navigator is a good place to start. It's 13 years of a 4-star rating on a 4-star scale. And also more recently GuideStar, which is a similar organization giving us a platinum seal, and big chunk of all the dollars we raise. And it's many millions of dollars a year to run ARF. That goes to 85% of it goes directly to the animal care services that we have. Next slide will be, we're ready when you are, is our numbers have taken, we're proud of these numbers, but they tanked obviously this past year because there was so much chaos with regard to having people in the building, how to keep the animals cared for and safe while we were trying to keep our employees and staff safe. And it was chaos, as you can imagine. And that's not unique to us by any means, but you can imagine the difficulty of moving in and out of these rooms, keeping the animals clean and healthy, exercised and all the rest of it, and keeping the staff safe too. So 1,886, this, you notice this is a fiscal year. So from the middle of 2019 to the middle of 2020, we were down to it from about 3,000 or 4,000 animals going home every year to about 1,880, which is for us a disappointing number, but an important number under the circumstances. And the spaying and neutering that goes on, if you want to really do a lot for dogs and cats, do something about the unwanted litters that get born and abandoned and left all over the place. It's pretty bad. 77 tons of food are distributed in a program that we have where we support people who otherwise might not be able to afford the care of an animal. I've been on some of these deliveries, people who are living alone in a trailer and they're in a walker, and getting to this pet store is really tough and they can't afford it. So we help them out. And then the Pets and Vets program, where we have matched up dogs with referred veterans. We're about to open a new building, which I'll tell you momentarily about, dedicated to that project. That's going to be a nationally focused program, and that's new for us. Next slide. You'll see that we've got our short history here, starting on the left, the famous incident where Evie the cat, later named Evie after Walter Haas's wife, who took particular good care of it. He was the owner of the A's at the time. This cat ran out in the field in the middle of a ball game, and it stopped everything because the cat was terrified. Nobody could corral it. It was running all over the field, exhausted. This was a game against the Yankees, was held up for about a half an hour before that's Tony. We got the cat to come into the dugout and into the back of the dugout area where there's actually an office and a restroom and so on, and keep the animals safe. And before the game was over, Mrs. LaRussa was on the phone saying, "What are we going to do about the cat, Tony?" I said, "I have to finish the game, dear, but we will do something." And the next year they incorporated in 91. So this is the 30-year anniversary of ARF's incorporation as a nonprofit. And you'll see that we actually had our first store. Some of you may recognize the ARF thrift store in the lower left corner. That's in Concord, where that was the first donated space that we had at the time as a place for adoptions to occur. And our education programs, I'm going to tell you more about momentarily. Next slide, you can go on, and I'll keep on track. So we do rescue runs. This is the different areas of our work. Rescue and behavior, meaning behavioral evaluation, rescuing animals, bringing them back and evaluating their behavior, as well as managing whatever illnesses and injuries they're bringing to us. The truck on the left is a special truck. As you can see, you have kennels there that are secured in a way that they don't rumble around on the road, and it's air conditioned and ventilated and so on. So we can make these long runs in the middle of summer. As I said, as far north as Reading, as far and as far south as Modesto, and everything in between. But our source of animals is always other public shelters, by and large. I say by and large because there are special circumstances in disasters and fires and so on where we'll help out other organizations who are overloaded with animals. I will tell you one thing I want you to be aware of, and once I tell you, you won't forget it. Every time you hear housing being set up for people because of a disaster, somewhere nearby there is housing being set up for critters. And you get up in horsey country and so on, where there are people have goats and llamas and other big animals. Even in Montecito, they had a big rescue operation to get koi fish out of ponds that were loaded with ash. So animals are always in there somewhere, and they don't get as much attention in the press, but that's going on all the time. We bring them in, and the first stop is at the clinic where they get evaluated health-wise, and then behavioral evaluations to make sure we have to know what level of experience people have to have before we match them up with people. Next slide. And you'll see that we've come in addition to the animal care part and the clinic functions are next. Again, this is before you or anybody else in the public would meet these animals. We have to be evaluating them. They're all going to be spayed or neutered. They're all going to be microchipped. Anything that we find that needs treating or fixing, we're going to treat it or fix it at no cost to the adopters. And that will be, I will tell you, I'll never forget it, seeing the van arrive from UC in Sacramento Davis veterinary school with an orthopedic surgeon and two of his interns to do hip surgery on a dog that we otherwise were not ready to do, but we could get help for free. We paid their gas money, they came and did the work. Animal went home with a new hip. With no cost to the owners. That's the kind, that animal wouldn't survive 10 minutes in a public shelter. They'd go right to euthanizing an animal with that kind of injury. They just don't make it. So there's evaluations, and you'll see a litter of puppies there. I was talking to Sarah just a little bit ago. There's the kind of foster care that we get when we have animals that are in litters that need care. And the special lower left corner, I want to point out, that's a mobile veterinary clinic. That's a clinic on wheels that has an operating theater in it. We can take that to any facility that's desperate for emergency medical care in a disaster, set it up on the parking lot, and provide round-the-clock veterinary care for emergencies of all kinds. We take that to the veterans facilities so that they can come in for their medical appointments and bring their small animals with them to get their wellness checks and their vaccinations and so on. Next slide. So animal care is huge. Foster care is also, talking to Sarah, and some of you may have been involved in this. We have last time I checked with the people in the foster care, we have like 700 volunteers who do foster care. There are unsung heroes because we rarely see them because they're doing their work at home. So they come in and pick up animals and their supplies, and they come back and forth. And some of them are routine care. You see a picture of a dog there with a splint on that's otherwise a happy and healthy dog, but it just needs to be out of the clinic setting in order to recover for a while. But other times we'll have, for example, abandoned kittens that are maybe 2 days old, that somebody's going to have to bottle feed every 3 hours around the clock. That's the kind of foster care that we get, that people don't do it every day. They take breaks from it, but they do it. And animals that need medications, animals that are are wearing diapers or otherwise needing special care. The fosters are miracle workers, and they make it all possible. And guess who really stepped up during the pandemic? We had a real big problem at the beginning with the lockdown of who's going to take care of the animals and how do we do that safely. And obviously, just like with humans, one of the best ways to do that was distribute them away from one another so that the staff didn't have to be tripping all over each other trying to take care of them. So they're huge. Foster care is a big part of what we do. Next slide. Let's see if I'm on. See if I'm going to look at my stopwatch. See if I'm going to see. Oh, it's turned itself off. It just said I'm done. We'll see adoptions. That's where I work. I have the great pleasure now. I try to keep photographs on my screensaver of my animals that I've sent home, and I'm proud to say I've had the personal great pleasure of finding homes for 750 some dogs and cats in the years I've been there, and I can't wait to get back to it because I miss it. It's a magical moment. And we have a mobile clinic that's a mobile adoption unit, which we take out all over the place. It has kennels in it, and then we're able to do a lot of matching. We had to redo how we do adoptions. Those of you out there, and I know there are some who have adopted from ARF, we used to come in and sort of take a number and take your turn. And because of the pandemic, we had to switch to appointment-based adoptions with some pre-screening that went on, and it's working so well that we're actually going to hang on to it. So just like Zoom technology, some of the things we got forced into using are going to stick around. And that's also for us as adoptions by appointment, we find works really well. So even people who walk in can still make an appointment if they just can wait a little while. Next slide. It's going to tell us if I don't want to run out of time. So we'll see how we're doing. This is where the adoptions starting now. Right now, we're starting these adoption hours where appointments are recommended. And if you're interested in adopting, the website is the place to start. People can now walk in on our Wednesday through Sundays. We don't do adoptions Mondays or Tuesdays, but Wednesday through Sunday, we have time slots that are on the website. And you can also, and I recommend it, do some pre-screening and narrow down your focus with an appointment when you get there. So that'll make it easier on everybody, including you. Next slide. Let's see, disaster response. So as I said earlier, when disasters happen, animals are in distress. People can't round them up quickly enough. If you have cats and dogs, you know, if you're facing with a wildfire raging outside and they're hiding somewhere and you have to leave and they're scattered all over the place, and you don't know this, but I do. Sadly, they keep coming out of these fire injuries for weeks later. Oh, is that my 2 minutes? I better wrap it up.
You got 2 minutes, yes.
Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to talk faster. So disaster response is big, but we all share. We do that on call with each other. We get online. You have another slide that I can go to, and then I'll stop there. You have one more, Colleen? I forgot. Pets and Vets program, matching up. That's going to be the new building on the left that's ready to open. And are matching up our veterans. And that's going to be a focus that's going to be national in scope. We're actually going to have people from other veteran support groups from all over the country come and train with us on how we do the Pets and Vets matchups, which is probably as good a place as any for me to stop. You know where our website is, you know where we live. Come down and see us. And if you're get involved as a volunteer, who knows, you may draw my name as a volunteer who's going to take you on a tour of the facility. I'd be happy to meet you when you get there. Thank you very much. You're all wonderful. Thank you. arflife.org. Bye-bye. I'll be in my breakout room.
Yes, very soon you will be.
Okay.
A moment.
Yes.
Let's get off. So we're back to the slideshow. Hang on one moment. I do want to definitely thank Stuart for you being here for sure. Really love that, that you were here, and do want to let you know that again with the ARF room, with the rooms, definitely please head on over. Head over to break room 3. He's got a whole bunch of great information that's available for you guys. Okay, and hang on a moment. I just realized my camera wasn't on, and I want to have my camera on, and I can't seem to get my camera on. Okay, guys, there I am.
There
Hello.
you are.
Okay, there I am. Okay, so anyway, so he'll be in breakout room 2. And again, if you guys are on YouTube, I'm serious. I've had notes from people, especially that Sarah person, tell me that when he went and talked to Stuart in the ARF room, it was really wonderful. My kitty who just left, he was up here trying to play with the computer. That's why I kind of messed up a little bit on changing screens. I'm like trying to move him. He came from ARF, and I know a lot of my neighbors had ARF. So definitely come join us in the room, and there's still some wonderful games going on. There's going to be a cakewalk.
Aline, it's room 3. It's room 3. You said room 2, but I think I'm in.
I'm at room 3. It's the one
3.
that's highlighted there, room 3.
There we go. Okay.
The
good.
animal room, and bring your animals there, please. Bring your animals there. So I do want to go ahead, Stuart.
All right, I'll leave. Bye. Nope. Okay. I don't know how I get to my room.
I think you click on breakout rooms at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
those
is. That's
squares at
right.
the
I
bottom.
forgot
Yeah.
that part. There we go.
Yeah,
Room
yeah.
3. Thank you. I almost
Yep, then-
signed out of the meeting.
Then hit the number sign to
Join.
join.
Colleen, you're muted.
Okay, so did you guys hear anything I just said? I was saying how wonderful ARF is. I got my animal from ARF, really excited. And again, if you happen to be on YouTube, definitely come over to Zoom and go into the rooms, play some games. We're going to have a cakewalk, and you can win prizes if you are on YouTube. Just jump in for a minute into that room, and you will have a lot of fun. But I do want to see if Jamie is here. Jamie, are you here?
I am here.
Yay. Okay, so we have Jamie here from Contra Costa Health, Housing, and Homeless, and I'm so excited that she is here. And I love technology. Sorry I was muted, but I'm definitely glad she is here right now. And I'll go ahead and unshare my screen so she can share what she'd like to share. So hang on a moment. Stop sharing. There we go.
See if it'll let me share. There we go. Hold on one second. Let me just get it to the right. Okay, hold on one second. You'd think by now I would have this all down. Okay. Let's see. And is it showing in? There we go. Perfect.
Yep. There we are.
So I'll just start by introducing myself. So I'm Jamie Jeanette. I'm with Contra Costa County Health, Housing, and Homeless Services. So we're essentially the county homeless program. And today I want to just do a quick snapshot for those of you that might be data nerds. I have a bunch of data in here, but I'm not going to go through all of it. But if you want to later, I'll make this slideshow available. And then I want to talk some about Concord specifically and about some of the services that are in Concord. And I know there's some questions about core outreach. And my colleague Gina is supposed to be here. I don't know if she's here yet. So I'll get started and we'll see if she's here. So this is a whole bunch of data, but the things that I really wanted to highlight for you, this is from our annual report, and it's looking at data from 2019. So the next one's going to be coming out soon with 2020 data. And I'll say COVID, we don't really know what the landscape is going to look like thanks to COVID, but this is what we know for right now. So in 2019, 7,897 people sought homeless services in Contra Costa County. If we look at the number of people entering our system, so becoming homeless, and the number of people getting housed, we were adding about 53 people every month. So more people were coming in than were getting housed. And we also have some pretty significant racial and ethnic disparities in our system of care. And most of these are sort of what's happening before people hit our system. We're also looking at what's happening within our system to see if we are making these disparities and inequities worse. But we see that about, if you're comparing African Americans to, that are sort of generally in our community population compared to their representation in our homeless system, it's about 4 times more than what you would expect, which is a problem, right? So we're trying to think about what's happening within our system, but then also trying to look at some of the solutions to prevent people from even coming in. So I'm going to talk more about our core outreach, but this is just a little more data. So what I can tell you is from January 1 to, I think, the 22nd or the 21st, these are the number of people just in Concord that our outreach teams worked with. So we served 473 different individuals in Concord. You can see a little bit about the breakdown around race, ethnicity, and in terms of age. So the majority were adults aged 25 to 61. And the next biggest population was seniors. And also looking at, so 0 to 17, when it says accompanied, that means those are children in families with their parents. Unaccompanied means young people that are on their own without parents. And then in terms of gender, you can see there's more men than women, which is typically what we expect, and a few folks that identified as transgender. As I said, wanted to highlight this is Concord, and just as basically in 6 months, we served about 473 people in Concord. So just want to do a really quick snapshot about if somebody's experiencing homelessness, how do they access services? What do they do? So there's really 3 points of entry. So folks can call 211, and this is applicable for all of you. So if any of you experience homelessness or know anybody that is, this is how to connect to services. So you would call 211, and they're available 24/7. So you will always get a live person. They might not be able to solve your problem, but you're going to actually talk to somebody. We have brick and mortar care centers where people can actually physically walk in and start to access services. So showers, laundry, case management. That's in Richmond and Walnut Creek right now. And then CORE, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. So that's our mobile outreach teams, and they are operating 7 days a week And I'll talk about that in a minute. And the CORE is really designed for folks that are unsheltered. So people that are living in encampments, living in their cars, that sort of situation. And I won't go into great detail, but this is sort of the range of services and housing options that people might be able to access through those 3 different access points. So there's some prevention. There's also, once somebody's looking for housing, there's some support for that, and then different types of housing interventions as well as shelter. So to drill down a little bit on CORE, I know there've been some questions about this. So we have, when I first started at Homeless Services, we didn't have any outreach teams that were county run or county-wide. We had a few here and there. So what we now have are 3 teams that are county-wide. So they basically go wherever is needed. We have some specific teams that are either working in specific locations or with specific populations. So BART, for example, is working at the end of the line. So in Bay Point and now in Antioch. And then Public Works actually funds a team to help in the creeks and waterways. So they're not only providing homeless outreach, but they're providing garbage bags and helping do garbage pickup, which has a win-win because it's helping reduce the amount of garbage that's going into the water, which is something that Public Works and the state cares about. We have some specific teams, again, for transition-aged youth. So that's like 18 to 24-year-olds. And then a number of cities, including Concord, actually fund their own CORE teams. And what that means is there's actually a dedicated resource just for that jurisdiction. I like to remind people the county, Contra Costa County as a county is geographically about the size of Rhode Island. So these county-wide teams may have a call in Brentwood and then they may have a call in Richmond. And you know how long that takes to get across. So, you know, the cities that have decided to fund their own teams are getting a dedicated resource that's going to be able to be much more responsive than communities that don't. So I don't know if Gina is here. Let me just take a quick look. I don't see her. So Gina is one of my colleagues that works in CORE. She's a CORE outreach worker for the Concord team. And this picture just highlights a little bit about what they do. So a CORE outreach worker's job is really sort of first and foremost to build relationships. So they're designed to build relationships with people so that they can then connect them to services. And I would say sort of one of the hallmarks of homelessness is trauma. So people may have experienced trauma in their early childhoods that has led to becoming homeless, but becoming homeless itself is really traumatic. And so a lot of times folks that have been homeless really struggle with being able to trust people in general, but especially people that are, you know, showing up in their space and offering to help them. So CORE often is working really hard to build relationships so that they can then provide services, connect people to services. So you can see here, people are going into, you know, into encampments, but also helping connect them with our health services. So we have a healthcare for the homeless team, helping get people connected to shelter. Also, so that row of people sitting in chairs, they're at the DMV. So people need identification in order to do almost anything, including getting jobs, getting housing. So our CORE teams are really supporting people with a lot of different things, not just dropping water and sleeping bags. So they can't do this work alone. And part of the reason why I love working in homeless services is that we interface with almost everyone, right? So our teams are working with Healthcare for the Homeless. They're helping connect people to behavioral health services, including substance use treatment or some of our mental health crisis services, working with law enforcement, connecting people to legal aid, public defenders, working a lot with folks that are re-entering after incarceration, working a lot with faith-based organizations. So a lot of faith communities are volunteering or donating supplies, and a lot of that's going right to CORE. Adult protective services. So sometimes CORE may identify folks that are older adults and they've become homeless because somebody has taken advantage of them. They may connect them in with adult protective services. Also, a lot of folks are fleeing domestic violence or being trafficked. And so CORE is finding all of these different situations and really connecting people to what they need so that they can stabilize and ideally get housed. And the thing I'll say about, you know, one question I get a lot from community members is like, well, you know, I know there's people that are out there and they just don't want to get help. And they don't want to get housed, and we're offering them services. And that is absolutely true. And what our core teams will tell you is often what will happen is somebody may stay out there for years, but there often comes a point where somebody decides it's not actually working for them anymore. Something happens and they're then ready to make a change. They're ready to find housing. They're ready to get sober, whatever it is. And CORE is actually really there without judgment to say, like, great, I'm glad you're here. I've been talking with you for 4 years or not interested in anything I have, but you're ready today. Great, let's do it. And I just wanted to do a quick update about COVID. So as you might imagine, it's made life really interesting for homeless services. And so CORE really had to pivot a lot of what they were doing. So, I always say, like, in the before times, pre-pandemic, they were helping transport people to appointments. They had a lot of face-to-face interaction. And they continued to have face-to-face interaction, but obviously with PPE, still providing food support. And so part of what happened is a lot of the places where people were going, either for restrooms, for food, a lot of those places closed down. Libraries were closed, gyms closed, all the places that people would maybe have been seeking, services and not needing CORE, a lot of those were closed. So CORE really stepped up distribution of food and water, supporting with health and sanitation. So we helped place porta potties and hand washing stations in places. Doing training and education with people, like, what is COVID and how does it spread, and supplying masks and helping people stay as safe as possible. Even helping distribute tents. So sometimes, people were sharing tents. And so we were able to help distribute tents so that people could be in separate sort of households to reduce the risk of spreading COVID. We also, so all of our big congregate shelters had to close in the beginning, and we moved people into hotels. So they supported with that. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But also really connecting people to testing and then vaccination services when that was available, and coordinating with healthcare for the homeless. And then they actually do a fair amount of fire safety and risk mitigation. As you all know, we have big fire risks, and a lot of times folks that are unsheltered are trying to stay warm or trying to cook. And so their CORE actually does a lot of education about how to minimize fire risk to help prevent wildfires. So just a quick update. So we have a couple of county shelters, and one of the county shelters, well, actually two of them are in Concord. So we have our general adult shelter. It's on Arnold Industrial Way. And then we have what's called the Philip Dorn Medical Respite. So that building is contiguous with 3 sort of different stations in it. And one end is a medical respite, and these have been closed for COVID, and they're now reopening. So this week we are moving people back in, which I'm so excited about. So the medical respite is for people that are getting discharged from hospitals that are homeless and are not medically stable enough to, they don't need to be in the hospital, but they're not medically stable enough to be like in a shelter or on the street. Concord Shelter is for single adults. Although we now have the capacity to house couples, which is a big deal because that could really be a barrier. If you have a partner, imagine not being able to be with your partner. You might choose to stay out on the street instead of doing that. And we now have these individual sleep stations. So on the right-hand side, you can see those. It's almost like office cubicles. So there's now, people have a bed with walls and a locking door and a little, some furniture so that they can store their things, which is a big deal because that hasn't been possible in the past. I hear my timer. I just wanted to do a quick plug. If people are interested in getting involved in helping support people that are experiencing homelessness, I'll drop in the chat. We have a mailing list with lots of information about meetings. There's some volunteer opportunities. We have council on homelessness meetings. So I'll also put my email in the chat, but I'm really happy to talk to anybody or come to my breakout. So that was a lot of information in a short period of time. So I'm happy to take questions now or in the breakout room.
All right,
That's
thank you, Jamie.
Oops, sure.
Thank you for sharing with us. You will be at breakout room 4. So if anybody does have a question for Jamie, you can go to breakout room 4. Oh, okay. Are you done, Jamie? Sorry, I'm
yes.
like,
sorry,
okay.
I'm typing.
Sorry. Just kidding. You can email her. Okay, but thank you for sharing with us.
Sure.
And
Do I
then,
go to my breakout room?
sure, yes, that's
Okay.
great. Room 4.
Got it.
And then I want to bring up Sue, who is the DINA board secretary and the area 4 rep. She's also been on the board for 8 years. So take it away, Sue. Are you here, Sue? Oh, is she here? She's in a breakout room.
Sue does not seem to be coming back.
Oh, she's not. Go ahead, Colleen.
So maybe I'll go ahead and do this because I don't know why Sue's not here right now, but she's not. She's staying where she's at, so that's okay. Because I am so excited that Mark is here, and I'll bring myself up here so you can see me. That Mark is here from CEI, Center for Elders Independence, and I've talked to him, and he's actually been very helpful with my life too. So I'm really excited because I've been talking to him about my mother as well. So Mark, welcome, and it's all yours. And I'll stop sharing my screen so you can go ahead and share yours.
Oh, thanks a lot, Colleen. And actually, it's kind of appropriate that we follow Jamie. There's a problem in our world, and that is that there's a big tsunami of people growing older that can't take care of themselves. And they want to stay in their homes. They want to have a good quality of life. They're afraid of having to go to the skilled nursing facilities or shelters or anything like that. And how do they stay home? It's expensive. Wow, it's really hard. So we're going to tell you a little bit tonight about something that's been working. It's a solution for some. It's not the solution for everyone, but it's a solution for some. And, and we're going to be talking to, our target market is elderly people that are low income, that are struggling, but also we want to talk to the sandwich generation, the us that are taking care of our parents and taking care of our kids, and we just don't have the ability to do both. So we'll tell you a little bit about it and share it with you. Just want to give a shout out to Guy. You joined late. Welcome to the party. Let me share my screen. My ability to share my screen has been disabled, Colleen. Think you could get me back in to be able to share it?
One moment here. I will get you back in again. There you go.
While we're waiting for that, I'm going to have Vilay, who works with CEI, tell you a story about what we do. I mean, we don't need.
You should be able to share now too, by the way.
Okay, thank you. We don't need a slide for this story, but Vilay, what does a picture look like?
Sure. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone. Hi, I'm Vilay. I'm the account manager here at Center for Elders Independence, and we are the provider of PACE. Basically, PACE is an acronym for Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elders. So I have a story to share with you because I've helped, a lady, and I'm just going to make up her name. We'll call her PJ. So PJ, when I came to her home, she had mentioned to me, Vilay, I was independent. I was able to socialize, go hiking, drive myself, do everything independently. But now I'm 72 years old. And within the last year, I fell like twice. I fell, I had to go be admitted into the emergency, into the hospital, in and out. What is wrong, right? I get it, I'm getting old. And so I know my health is changing. And lately, because of that, I only have one son. And I know he has his own personal private life, his own family to care of, but he loves me. So he takes the time to come. But I know that he's a construction worker, traffic hits, and so he comes and cares for me. But what she's also saying is that I also really love where I live. And I'm afraid I really don't want to move into a skilled nursing home. I don't want to leave the community that I love. So when I hear all this, and speaking to her son. Her son also says, she's forgetting to take her medicine once or twice a week. She can't shower, so her son has to help her shower and do laundry and all that. So our program is all-inclusive care. We provide hospital, medical, and delivery of medication. And then we also have home care. Our home care person is licensed. So coming in can help her to take a bath, do light cleaning, laundry, help her walk around the neighborhood. And then because now this program also offers transportation to take her to the doctor, right? And it helps alleviate some of the responsibility for her son having to come and care to do all that. And so, and then we have the center. I know Mark's going to tell me more, but we have socialization. She comes in, her depression are now lifted because she comes into our center. She makes friends. She, has activities, and then within that place, there's like bingo. But basically, just know that we help her stay home instead of moving into skilled nursing. And then I'll just hand it back. I think I heard my timer. So, so if you know someone that their health is changing and they still want to live in their home, please reach out to me. I'll put my name and number in the chatter. And we do cover Alameda and Contra Costa. Back to you, Mark. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Vilay. So the other story, I think you can see my screen now. We'll tell you a little bit about it. So like Vilay said, we just started in Contra Costa. We actually opened up our first center in that part of Contra Costa County in Concord in May 1st. So we're brand new in the area. This is a facility and a service that's not been available to the elderly, low-income population before. So this is very exciting for a lot of population. I wish Jamie was here. I'd love to speak with her about it. But we're going to tell you a little bit about PACE, which is the program All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. And CEI, Center for Elders Independence, is the exclusive provider of PACE medical model. So that's the difference. So PACE is a medical program. CEI is the provider of that medical program. Let's tell you all about that right now. So you got the story. Thank you, Vilay. It's really amazing. People that have struggled their whole lives finally have somebody watching out for them, making sure they're taking their meds, making sure they're getting to their appointments, ADLs, their activities of daily life, making sure they can shower, they eat, they're getting all these different things. Someone's watching out for them. And a burgeoning problem. So this is what our story is, and thank you, Vilay. But let me tell you about PACE. So PACE, the Program of All-Inclusive Care for Elderly, has been around forever. Well, 1971. So it started in Onlock in San Francisco, in Chinatown. And in Chinatown, Vilay tells the story better, but in Chinatown, that culture took care of their elders. They didn't send them off to homes and places and they didn't live with them, but they're at home and they didn't have time for them because they had to work. So a social worker and a doctor got together and they outsourced how to take care of the elders so they could stay in their home. And when they outsourced occupational therapy, dentists, transportation, medical needs, visual needs, everything that they need to do so that the kids could go off and have their life and do what they need to do. And their parents are taken care of and being able to stay in the home. Well, that was 1971. Here we are, 50 years later. There's 139 PACE centers across the country with over 55,000 members. It just exploded because of the need. And this year, the amount of resources that are going to go, this is going to explode. And the mission is simply this. Hey, to give people an affordable, comprehensive, integrated healthcare service to them that can promote their autonomy and quality of life and their ability to live in their home. That's the goal. And now it's in Contra Costa. So, and the model is really all inclusive, just like a resort, the all inclusive resort, all inclusive cruise ship. You go in, it's all taken care of for you. So the model is really designed, takes care of all the medical, your family services, going into the home, doing some simple cleaning, cooking, helping with the ADLs, social. It was really a social design model. We would bring all these people into these centers where the medical facility was. I'll show you that later. And there was activities and ways to get these parents out of their house and away from their solitary and bring them in for, bingo and rummy and be able to connect with other people. Of course, COVID put a kibosh on that, but we're coming back. And this model is as safe as you probably can get coming back to normalcy. We're going on 100% of our participants vaccinated, the high 80% of our staff vaccinated. So as we get back to normal and you're going out into the world, being around a safe bubble, this is one of them. So social big. Transportation, of course, we talked about mental health. Big issue. All those kids that were, people that were that were kids in the 70s are now 70s. So we could talk about what happened in the 70s, and then in-home care, of course, making that help, taking care of that for them. So a typical participant, typically, elderly people, they have a lot of problems going on. They need a lot of care. So the kids are at home. They got to take mom and dad to the different facilities and different appointments. They need transportation. They need geriatric facilities, physicians. And truthfully, it's getting too hard to take care of them. Stay at home. And that's where we come in. Now, we can talk a little bit about this more, but this is typically paid for through Medi-Cal. This is a low-income program for low-income seniors. That's very important. And it should be told if you are poor but not that poor and you don't make Medi-Cal, we can work with you to help you get into that program, but we need to talk about that. So it's really a Medi-Cal based program, truthfully. You can do other things, you can do private pay, but yeah, it's like any program that it's relatively expensive. So that's PACE. Started in 1971, takes care of all these things. Who's CEI? CEI is the exclusive provider of PACE for the East Bay and now Contra Costa. Started in 1992. We have about 900 participants, and we have 5 centers. So I'm going to show you that. So we're really pretty much in Alameda, San Leandro, down in East Jose Barro, which is your Eastmont, Oakland, downtown Oakland, Berkeley, and the PACE, which we just opened up. I'm going to show you a video of it. It's beautiful. It's 15,000 square feet. We completely gutted 2 buildings over on 1465 Civic Court by the Water World over there. Gutted them and created a brand new medical facility just for elders and a brand new activity social center just for elders. So let me give you a show. Let me give you an example. Show you what we got. I'm going to switch my screen here, and I'm going to give you a little video that's going to kind of go over the facility in Concord. Again, it's right by the Water World. You'll see these trucks all over, the CEI elders.org truck. Again, vaccinated. So we go to pick up people. The whole transportation makes such a pain, especially for the difficult people. We'll go pick you up and bring you back for all of your medical needs. You come in, and there's really 2 buildings. It's 2 sections. You got your medical section and you got your social section, activities. This is what you're seeing here is the activity side. We do lunches. We bring people in for games, and it's just a way to socialize. A lot of stuff was really designed for that. 2 more minutes. Full-on kitchen, really kind of a great way to see what's everything going on. I'm going to kind of go a little bit ahead here, and I'm going to bring you back to it because I got 2 minutes, and I just want to really express who is eligible to join, because this is important. It sounds great for everybody, but it's really specifically, you got to be 55 and older. You got to be having more and more challenges to stay at home. So you need to have specific needs. You need to be Medi-Cal. If you're not Medi-Cal, Medicare, we can work out things, but if you have Medi-Cal, it's free. Unless you have a slight share of costs, it's not an issue. So I know a lot of people on here in Contra Costa, Concord, God bless it, making pretty good money. That's great. But if you know somebody's struggling and they can't make it, that's a good person to call. Call Delay and let her know. So there's a sweet spot. If people are pretty independent, they're going to be on their own if they're too far gone, but Delay will be able to tell you who that is. So this kind of gives you the overview of everything. It's all inclusive, includes everything. So I want to just kind of go here and end it with this. This is Delay right there, her number. If you want to learn more, take a tour. Come check out the center. Meet Emily Hoshida, the center director. Or if you know somebody that you think you just kind of know them, they're kind of a hurting way, call Delay at 510-292-5517. We'll check it out. And if we can't help them, and this is what's important about PACE and CEI, if we can't help them, we'll turn them over to the Jamies of the world and we'll get all together. We'll make it happen. So thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mark. I did put my information in the chat as well. Okay, I will be in room 5 for those of you that have more questions. I'll be in the breakout room in room 5.
Room 2.
Oh, room 2? Oh, okay, now I'm in room 2.
Yeah, so that's good, right? You guys are going to be in room 2, actually. So if you want to go ahead and if you guys have any questions for our speakers, by all means, they will be in the rooms. You can wander over there. This is being recorded, so you won't miss anything. But I did want to let you know that our next word is "our" for the scavenger hunt. So you're almost there in order to unscramble your sentence, in order to make a sentence to win a barbecue and $55 for sure. So I do want to definitely thank this wonderful elder care group. I'm really excited about them for being here. So definitely. Again, I am the Dana Chair, and I do want to kind of share some information with you for a moment here, if I can get my screen up here. Okay, so guess what? That's some of the Dana stuff that we've done, and Kim's right there in the one picture with our code enforcement, and she's definitely a great code enforcement person. So glad she's there. But I did want to let you know that you can always go to danaestates.org for any updated information that we may have that's going on. Did want to also remind you that Dumpster Day, the next Dumpster Day, is on August the 7th, so that's right around the corner. And also in October, we're going to have a live event. We want to get back together, so we're going to have like a carnival, okay? We're going to have music and games and crafters. So if you are a crafter, please email Dana's chair at danaestates.org. If you live in Dana Estates, you can be out there selling your beautiful crafts. So it will be in October. We're thinking about early October, but we've not set an exact date yet. But we will be in your next newsletter, so please watch for it, okay? And lastly, I did want to also mention that the food bank is to have a food barrel at Cinco de Mayo. So definitely take a look out for that. That's an important little thing. We really want to take care of our food bank. And we did have the food bank was supposed to be here. Sharon was supposed to speak, but I do not see that she is here. So I'm very sorry, but she is not in the room. Oh, it is so sad. Let me look again, make sure I'm not missing anything. And so I don't see her at all. So I am very sorry, but the food bank, I'll just go into this real quick with you guys. The food bank is really, really important. And the reason that it is so important is because, you know, people need food. And the statistics have shown that because of COVID, food has gone up a lot. I mean, for people that need food, it has gone up dramatically. So you can volunteer at the food bank just by going to the www.foodbankccs.org. By all means, give them a call if you want to volunteer. If you want to donate food, there's barrels. You can call them to find out where you can donate the food. So definitely you want to go ahead and reach out to them. So please go ahead and go to that site and see what is happening there, and you can reach out to them. So I think that, let's see here. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide, which is the food bank slide. So this is the neighbors are in need, okay? So if you're looking at this beautiful slide, you'll be able to see that, you know, did you know when you donate money, the food bank is able to purchase food at wholesale rates less than what you pay in the grocery store. So for every dollar they receive, they can buy $2 worth of food. So again, we as Dana Estates are really wonderful in the sense that we care about our community, and not just our little Dana Estates community, though we do care very greatly about our Dana Estates community. We also care about the community at whole. So this is, I'm going to have this particular flyer up, so you guys will be able to see that very soon. And I'm seeing if she's joined yet, and she's not. So why don't we go ahead and move on. And if she happens to join, I will have her join us at the end. So let's go ahead and just to let you know, if you're on Zoom, if you're on YouTube, please join us in Zoom for the Zoom rooms. There's people out there that really want to talk to you. You know, the Center for Elders Independence that you just spoke to, you can definitely reach out to them. But the last word for the scavenger hunt is safer. So now you guys can unscramble the word. So safer is the last word. So go ahead and take all those words that you got, make a sentence out of it, and you could win a barbecue and $55. So definitely want to do that. I do want to bring Kim back. Kim, are you back here?
I am back here, yes. And I think we're supposed to remind folks that they have 15 minutes to get their scavenger hunt answer in. Is that correct, Colleen?
That is correct. You want to email it to chair@danaestates.org. So type it in to your email and just email it to chair@danaestates.org, and I will be looking for your entries. So I know one person was really concerned about that. I know a couple of you are. So get those entries going to us. If you are on YouTube, you can still enter as well.
Great. And I am happy that Guy Bjorky's here with us. He's a little early, and I know that he will be happy to start right away, so we won't make him wait another 10 minutes or so until we call on him. So Guy is the Director of Economic Development and Base Reuse Project for the City of Concord. And I think we actually pulled him out of a council work session to come to talk with us tonight. So Guy, thank you so very much for doing that, and I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Kim, and thank you, Colleen. Yes. As we speak tonight, the council is holding a study session with the new property owners of the Coast Guard property, the old Navy housing along East Olivera. And those property owners are presenting to council their ideas about how to use those 58 acres. And the council and members of the public are weighing in on what they think and the direction that they're going to give those property owners. So it's going to be an interesting give and take, but we all know our city council, they're going to talk till about midnight on this one. So I'm here to give you a little briefing on the base. I've got some slides I'm going to share with you. I'm going to walk through it fairly quickly. I know a number of you are old pros about the base, but I want to give everybody an opportunity to understand what's going on. So I'm going to share my screen now, assuming I do it correctly. And then turn the PowerPoint on. Okay, are you getting the big slide now? Concord Reuse Project Overview.
Yes.
Perfect, great, thank you. So first off, this is a picture of Bunker City, obviously from up on the hillside. And I know a number of you have taken tours of the base. The site history, I think you all know, the Concord Naval Weapons Station was the primary port of providing munitions and supplies to the Navy in the Pacific Theater from World War II to the first Gulf War in early 90s. And when the Navy decided that they didn't want to use this base anymore, they moved all their operations up to the state of Washington. And the way the federal government works, when you're a federal agency and you don't want property anymore, you have to first make it available to other federal agencies. And so the Army took the tidal portion of the base and turned it into an Army munitions supply place for the Pacific Theater. It's called MOTCO, Military Ocean Terminal Concord. Then this inland portion of the base is the portion of the base that we've been dealing with for almost 15 years now, since 2006. There is a little portion, we talked about the Coast Guard property, and it's not really shown here. It's just in this little area that looks like Spain, the old airfield on East Oliver and Willow Pass, the Coast Guard property. The Coast Guard asked for that and the Navy gave it to them. The rest of this went through the base realignment and closure process, and Congress basically decided that they were going to get rid of the base. And so these 5,000 acres were put through the BRAC process. And because the inland portion of the base is entirely within the city limits of Concord, the city of Concord became the local reuse authority in order to plan how the base gets reused. In 2006, when that was determined, from 2006 to about 2010, we held about 85 public meetings, workshops, planning commission meetings, council study sessions in the senior center, in various schools, and we came to the Dana Estates picnics and fairs to solicit information because we needed to set up some goals for the reuse. And these were the goals that were established for the reuse project, that we wanted it to be world-class, the project. And we're still arguing about what that is, but in my view, there's a lot of great things in this project. And if we can get them done, it will be world-class. We also wanted a balanced approach between development and conservation or open space. And I think we're headed in that direction. We also wanted the project to be economically viable and sustainable. And what that really means is we want the project to pay for itself. We don't want existing residents to subsidize the project. And then the fourth one is quality of life. Well, we want the project to pay for itself. We want everybody to be able to use it. Concord residents, regional residents. We want it to have a major benefit for everyone in the community. So in 2010, we adopted a reuse plan to make the Navy happy, but it was a federal document. And even though we did a full environmental impact report on it, we needed to also put it into the city's general plan to give it the force of law in California. And so in 2012, the council adopted the area plan that's on your screen. And I'm going to talk about this for a minute to give you a couple senses of things, but the idea was to create that balance. So you'll notice that there's a light green area along the eastern end and the entire area south of Bailey Road. That is a conservation area and a regional park in the plan. And in 2019, the Navy transferred that property, or most of it, not all of it, but most of it, to the National Park Service, who gave constructive possession to the East Bay Regional Park District. So that's about 2,600 acres of the 5,000 acres. and it's a regional park and conservation area. The East Bay Regional Park District has adopted a land use plan for it. And I think you probably read in the paper several weeks ago that they've decided to name it Thurgood Marshall Regional Park, home of the Port Chicago 50, to honor those that died, those that basically rebelled against Navy command when they were told to go back and start loading ammo again in an unsafe manner. And that Justice Thurgood Marshall, who was an attorney for the NAACP at the time, took on their case, was not successful, but nonetheless fought the fight for those sailors. The park district is getting that acreage as part of a public benefit conveyance, which essentially means that they're paying nothing for it. They're getting it for free from the federal government. If you look along the top of the slide, there's a bluish area, and that's the old administrative area next to the golf course. It's going to the Contra Costa County in a public benefit conveyance for free. It's about 80 acres, and they're going to turn it, the sheriffs and Consolidated Fire are going to turn it into a first responder training facility. So that's what's going on there. Then the colorful areas around the BART station, all the way down the transit spine to Bailey Road, that is coming to the city. It's about 2,300 acres. And it is coming to us in an economic development conveyance, which means that we're negotiating with the Navy so that the Navy gets some value out of the project. They're going to be a participant in the project. And over the 30-year build out of the project, they will get revenue, just like the city will, and of course, the development itself. So this game plan is designed to make use of the least used BART station in the whole system. The North Concord BART station has less visitors, less use, and that's because half of the area around the station is a naval weapons station. And so we're going to do transit-oriented development, which means higher density, fewer parking spaces, and make sure to activate the area around the North Concord BART station, and then create a transit spine with villages and slightly lower densities, a tournament sports park, a campus district, and at least 25% of the housing built on the base, which should be about 12,000 units. So about 3,000 of those are going to be affordable housing units. So it's a package of housing, affordable housing, about 6 million square feet of commercial, retail, office space, about 2 million square feet of campus district, and about 175 acres of city park and tournament sports park. Now this is just a long list of things that have happened since 2005, and we were making pretty good progress on getting to a specific plan and getting to first transfer from the Navy, but we hit a hiccup in 2019, and the union labor or building trades and our master developer, Lennar, could not come to agreement on how much union labor the project could support financially. And so last March of 2020, excuse me, a year ago, March, the master developer decided to leave the project. And so we're now in the process of evaluating new proposals from master developers. We received 3 proposals a week or so ago, and the staff is in the process of reviewing those. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in another minute. What this document shows you is how things are being cleaned up on the base. We have one of the cleanest bases in the Bay Area because we didn't really build anything on the base. We just stored a lot of stuff. And so the yellow area is the area that the Navy and the regulatory agencies like EPA and Department of Toxic Substance Control and other agencies have determined is clean and can be transferred. It's been found to be suitable for transfer. FOST is what that means. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. And so the green area is what transferred to the park district about a year ago. And the pink areas are the areas that are still being assessed or cleaned up by the Navy. The Navy is on the hook. They have to clean these things up to the standards we set in our area plan before they can transfer the properties to us. And so the Navy is still doing work out there, getting ready to transfer first the yellows and then the reds as they become clean and ready for development. This plan is actually old, and I'm not sure why I'm showing it to you, but the fact of the matter is this was the land use plan that Lennar was writing a specific plan against. And you'll notice that the colors have changed a little bit in this plan because we needed to make affordable housing more viable throughout the project rather than grouping it all in one spot. And we also moved the campus district up closer to the BART station and Highway 4. Whether or not the new developer keeps this plan or refines this plan or goes somewhere else is something we'll know probably next year, next spring, as we move forward on it. And then I'll wrap things up pretty quickly here. In 2018, we spent time and money to help plan out a tournament sports complex. If we had the money, what would we do with those 175 acres? And a preliminary conceptual plan was brought up with long fields, ball fields, some indoor facilities, which the city doesn't really have very many indoor facilities. And so there's a couple different game plans that are pre-planned out and ready to pick up once we have entitlements and have the ownership of the property. The other thing that was done in 2018 was a blue ribbon committee got together and said, what do we want in the campus district? And more than what do we want, what's feasible? Who's really going to invest in a campus facility? Will the CSU, will UC, are there any privates? And really the consensus amongst all sorts of stakeholders was we should build a hybrid facility where we can get maybe a cybersecurity unit out of San Luis Obispo in there. Maybe we get an ag natural resources out of UC in there. Maybe we get, so we do a number of different things that and potentially use the fact that the base is now being used as a testing facility for autonomous and connected vehicles currently. We've got Baidu out there, Tesla out there, you name it, they're out there testing on an interim basis. Maybe they use the campus district and some of the base as a permanent facility for high technology and transportation issues. So we had a great game plan until obviously we had our issue and we lost our master developer. And so I'm just trying to explain to you that we were on track to do some things, but we got into a dispute. And so we're recalibrating all of these things. And the goal is to pick a new master developer, hopefully late this summer, work out agreements with the new master developer between September and December, and then restart our specific plan, environmental impact report, and entitlement process so that we can hopefully get that done over a 2-year period. And by 2023, have entitlements, have Navy transfer of at least the first 1,200 acres that were in yellow, and begin on the horizontal infrastructure. We need streets, sewer, water, recycled water, electricity. There's a whole bunch of things that we need to bring to the base to make it a viable project. And that's what we're working to do. So if you want to know more about the base project, if you go to the ConcordReuseProject.org website, and if you scroll down, there's a master developer section 2020, selection 2021. It's on the front page, but you can also just look for it. And there's a document called the Request for Master Developer Qualifications, where I'm showing you this red arrow. That document's like 100 and some odd pages. But let me tell you, it tells you everything you want to know about the reuse project as of right now. So if you want to know more details, get that document. And you can always send us or send me emails if you have other questions about it. So I'm sorry, I've taken a lot of time, but I wanted to move through a lot of information. We're excited about the concept of having a new master developer on because that makes it possible to get a specific plan done. That makes it possible for the Navy to transfer the property And that makes it possible for us to get something done on the base sooner rather than later. So, and that's my goal in life before I retire. So at any rate,
It's a
I'm
good
glad
goal,
to answer
Guy.
any questions.
So Colleen, thank you, Guy. I very much appreciate you taking the time to do this, especially with everything else going on this evening. So much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Colleen, we're a small group here on Zoom, and I know that there are others watching on YouTube. Do we want to just take some questions from Guy here since we have a little extra time, or how do
Yes,
what do you
most definitely. That's a great idea.
Lisa?
We'll just go ahead and.
The question. Guy, there's been some activity out on the Naval Weapons Station. We back up right to it, right out Beechwood. And I'm just curious, what is that about? It's not the cars, or it doesn't seem to be. There were people out there a few weeks ago, and there's some orange fencing out there right now. So just curious what that was.
Yeah, so I'd love to tell you that I know everything that's going on in the base, but I don't. But I do know down in that neighborhood and even further south onto Crestwood, so there was some concern. Effectively, every year the rancher who is cattle grazing is required to do disking. And there was some concern that the disking wasn't done properly this year. And so I know the Navy was asking the rancher to go back out. But the other thing that is likely going on is Bunker City. There's 110 bunkers. It's 500 acres, and it backs up to your neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. That area is being remediated, cleaned up, because it has arsenic in the soil. And in certain places, it's 6 inches down. In other places, it's 11 inches down. And the scientists can't agree on whether it's dangerous or not. But for about 20 years, 25 years, the Navy sprayed arsenic to kill weeds and kill squirrels and kill everything, right? And so it's now a problem. But they can't agree on how big a problem. Some scientists say, no, you could stick a kid out there and let him eat dirt and it wouldn't hurt him. And other scientists say, no, you can't do that. The Navy is committed to giving that to us to a residential standard because we're going to build homes on it. People are going to have backyards or some yards, maybe. We're doing things much more densely. So what they've decided is they're running a test and they're planting 2 different plants because these plants are known to absorb arsenic. So one of them, I think, is the Chinese fernbeak. And so they're going to plant several acres and run a test over several seasons and see if they can get the plant to pull the arsenic out to a safe level. Now, then you got to cut the plant out and take it somewhere and put it somewhere safe, right? So it's always something, but it's better than scraping the whole site and taking all that dirt somewhere. That's very expensive. So if we can figure out a ecological way to fix the arsenic issue, that's what the Navy's working on now. And that's probably what the orange fences are. It's to keep endangered species and less than intelligent humans from going in there, right?
Okay, cool. Can I ask you too, what would be the earliest number of years that building would start happening right up against our neighborhood?
Yeah, your neighborhood's farther out than most. So the first phases of development on the base are going to happen north of Willow Pass Road, between the BART station and Willow Pass Road. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm lucky and I can get entitlements in 23, it's probably going to take me a couple years to get road, sewer, and water out there, 2025. And I'm still north of Willow Pass Road for most of the development. I mean, the new master developer may change some of that, but I don't think the Navy's going to be ready to give the city Bunker City for at least 10 more years, right? It may be 2030 before Bunker City has been sufficiently cleaned in the right areas that they can transfer it to the city.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Guy. So appreciate you. Kim, are you still here?
I am, yes. Thank you. Very interesting. I know that this is a big concern and interest to everybody in the neighborhood. So I appreciate you taking the time to come and talk with us, Guy.
You're very welcome.
Back to you, Colleen.
Okay, so let's see, where are we at next? So Angela,
Yes. Hi, everyone.
you want
Yes, on through the thank yous. So everyone here on Zoom and everyone at home on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. We want to take some time to thank those that did dedicate their time to speak, such as Meals on Wheels, the Concord Chamber of Commerce, Contra Costa Water District, and ARF.
And also Contra Costa Health and Homeless, the Center for Elder Independence, Concord Food Bank, and Concord Reuse. And then Sue, I think you have something else you'd like to share, being our secretary and Area 4 rep, as well as being on the board for 8 years.
Hi, thank you so much for introducing me, and it's been a pleasure to be on the board. We are all volunteers, as you probably know, and we're having fun helping the neighbors. And you can see where on the screen where you could join as a volunteer. We can use more area representatives, and area reps will attend each monthly meeting. And we each have other duties that we perform as we are assigned those for various functions that we have. We always need people to deliver newsletters, and some of them have been doing it for years, year after year after year. So we have some that have retired, and we've had some new ones come in. We always need volunteers to get those newsletters out to everybody. And then we certainly need help with the dumpsters. Right now, we do need a dumpster overseer, but we also need those sponsors or those monitors to watch the dumpsters and make sure that things don't go in there that shouldn't go in there, and just to make sure that all the dumpsters get to their locations where they're supposed to be set up. So that's another area. We need help with garage sales. Basically, volunteers for a garage sale would hand out maps, usually up at Dana Plaza, so that people can kind of plan their trip through the neighborhood and figure out what houses they want to go to and who's selling what. And there are other events along the way. As you know, with our night out, there are so many different things to do. We need games people, we need crafts people, we definitely need a lot of help. And really, every organization, you've heard tonight that every organization is very dependent upon their volunteers. So we'd like you to just please consider how you can help us. And we thank you to all the volunteers who pass out those newsletters, are there for the night out, who are monitoring dumpsters. Doesn't sound like a real thrilling thing to do, but it's really fun. There are usually 2 of them there. So yeah, just a lot of various areas that we need volunteers for. The garage sale, we talked about that, that's upcoming. So you all really are vital and valuable to the Neighborhood Alliance.
Yep, thank you very much. And yes, and the dumpsters, by the way, you're going to meet all your neighbors, so it's actually quite fun to monitor a dumpster.
Yes, and I guess we're looking for Penny to join us here momentarily.
And by the way,
Sue?
just to let you guys know, you haven't met her yet, but Penny is our treasurer, and she does a great job keeping us on mark with money, I'm telling you.
Well,
Penny.
thank you. Thank you. I've been on the board for 3 years now, and I have to say that I enjoy meeting all the neighbors and working with all the volunteers. So definitely think about volunteering and, you know, even volunteering for the board. And now is the exciting time. We're going to do our drawing for the giveaways. Are you ready, Colleen?
I am ready, and I am going to start with the scavenger hunt, and we did get quite a lot of them in here. So I'm going to see who wins, and I know that this is going to be fun. Now, this is for a barbecue, and we will bring it to your house, by the way. we will be getting the prize to you within the next 48 hours, either tomorrow or Friday, to your front door. But if you win the barbecue, we're actually going to like knock on your door. We don't want to leave it on your front porch. That would not be fun. But if when you sent in your request or your slip to us, if you did not put your email address, your phone number, or your address, please email me, because I want to find you. I don't want to drive around the neighborhood saying, hey, here's your prize. Where are you? So let's see who wins this one. This is for the scavenger hunt. Oh, by the way, where's my sentence go? The sentence was, if you guys can, hopefully you can see this. Anyway, it was together we make our neighborhood safer. So if that was your thing, that's what it was. And yes, we do together make our neighborhood safer. So the winner is Chi Mitchell. So Chi, you are the winner of the barbecue and the $55. We will bring it over to you for sure. So yay, Chi. Congratulations to Chi Mitchell. Now we're going to go to the door prizes. And as you can see, we got a ton of them. And luckily, we got a ton of people that want to win. But you guys all got a good chance to win. So I'm going to draw a name and then a prize. And then Penny's going to be writing them down to make sure we get it to the right person. So the prize is going to be $25 gift card to Quickly's. And the winner is Tracy, get in the camera, Tracy Jen. So Tracy Jen, you just won a gift card to Quickly's for $25. So, yay.
Yes.
Congratulations on that. The next one is going to be a $25 gift card to Cinco de Mayo. Ooh, I love Cinco. Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo. And the winner is going to be, actually, I think he's our dog walker. He walks a lot of dogs, but let me see if I can get this in here. Mark Gabis. Mark is, you might see him walking around with dogs. But anyway, he is the winner of Cinco de Mayo. Congratulations, Mark. Yay. Right, neighbors? Or right, board, let's clap for our neighbors. The next prize is going to be another $25 gift card to Quickly's. And the winner of this one is Sarah Powell.
Woo-hoo.
Sarah, you are the winner. Yay, Sarah. Woohoo! And next, what do we have here next? Let's see what we got next. Next, we have a gift card to GamePro. It's $25 gift card to GamePro. And Sue, where are they located at again?
They are on Treat Boulevard in the same shopping area as Togo's. And their games are electronic games, but they're geared toward more than one person playing so that the family plays together. You play with your friends. It's not just somebody using a video device of some kind.
Okay, so the winner of this is our barbecue winner. So that's where it's going to go to is Chi Mitchell. If I can get that in the camera. Chi Mitchell, you also won games. And by the way, I know Chi has kids, so this is going to be good for her. So
Great.
Congratulations, Shy. I'm sorry, it's Shy, not Chi. I apologize. I said her name wrong again. So next is going to be $25 gift card to La Cuts. You need your haircut done? They really need our help, by the way. Dana Plaza is so good to us. And that $55 on that barbecue, by the way, was given to us by Dana Plaza, just so you know. And then the barbecue was given to us by Ace Hardware. But anyway, the winner of this one is going to be, I like this one. Pilar, let me see if I can get that in there. I got to learn how to do this. Pilar Eglin. Pilar, you are the winner. I know you are out there on YouTube. So congratulations to you. Yay. Next is going to be a $5 gift card to Subway. It's $5, but $5 is $5, right? You can get yourself a sandwich. Mm-hmm. And the winner of that is going to be, Sally Costa. So Sally, you get $5 to Subway. Congratulations on that. And the next one, we got a lot here. I'm going as quick as I possibly can. Okay, guys? As fast as I can to give these away. Next is another $5 gift card to Subway. Okay? And the winner of that one is Rosemary and Melvin Jackson. So the Jacksons have won a gift card to Subway. $5. Yay. Okay, the next prize, in a minute, my bag's tipping over on me, is going to be, oh, this one's a great one, by the way, guys. This is a $100 value fitness package. You're going to get an exercise guru that's going to help you get in shape. And after this COVID thing, I know I've eaten a lot of food, but you see her name on there. She is wonderful, living proof. So the winner of this prize is going to be Dakota Walmsley. Dakota, you get this great exercise program. I think you're going to love this. In fact, I know you are. So this is great, and I know that it's going to be wonderful for you, and that is, of course, with Jamie. So definitely want to utilize that, and I know you're going to love that. I know you are. Next is $25 more to Cinco de Mayo, and the winner here is, he's been online, is Peter. Let me get over here. Peter McKellen, and I probably said it wrong, but Peter is the winner of $25 to Cinco de Mayo. Peter, you're heading to Cinco. Cinco de Mayo, la 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 la. We got a lot more here going. So you're welcome. $25 again, or $20 to Cinco de Mayo. I'm telling you, the people at Dana Plaza have been very kind, just so you know. So Lindsay, where is it? Lindsay Wagner, you are the winner of the Cinco de Mayo gift card, $20. So Lindsay Wagner. And next is going to be 25 to Mans, and I actually went there just recently, and and their food is even brighter and beautiful, more so than it ever was. And Gabriella Bucci, you have won wonderful Mans Chinese cuisine. Oh, let me tell you, I love their food. I love their food to pieces. Especially their egg rolls. That's my favorite. So now we have another Cinco de Mayo. You see, Cinco de Mayo has been really kind to us. So everybody go to Cinco, even if you don't win the prize, because they have been really good to us, let me tell you. Okay? And that would be Sean Boatwright. So Sean, you are the winner. And by the way, just so you know, I know these don't look like the little tickets you guys had. I just happened to write them on paper to make it easier to read. But I have your coupons over there, just so you know. Okay, next is going to be $50. Oh, this is to Nail It Salon. So get your nails done. I know I need my toenails done really badly because they've been very not taken care of lately. So Tammy Abram, you are the winner of Nail It for $50. A $50 nail job. Oh, how fun. And they do a lot of stuff, and I love their little rooms, just so you know. And next is going to be another $5 gift card to 7-Eleven. Oh, no, to Subway, excuse me, to Subway. And the winner of that is going to be David Eglin. So, David, you get $5 to Subway. Get yourself a nice sandwich. I particularly like the vegetarian ones. Next would be another $5 gift card to Subway. They just broke it all up into this. I probably should have put them together. But Brandy McVeigh, you get to go to Subway. And we'll get that over to you for sure. We only have a few, well, we've got probably about maybe a few more prizes to go here. Another $20 to Mans, and again, they've been very good to us. $20 goes to Shannon Cox. So Shannon, you get $20 to Mans Chinese Cuisine. You're fun. Okay, next is going to be, did you guys know that we have a eyebrow place in Dana Plaza? It's right next to Nail It, and they do threading. So this is a $12 value threading for eyebrows at Pruna Eyebrows. So the winner of that is going to be Maggie Horn. So Maggie, you just won yourself some eyebrows. So how fun is that? So if you guys ever want to get your eyebrows all prettied up, that's where you can go to get your eyebrows prettied up. Just so you know. Okay, next is, this is a big one. $75 gift card to Safeway. This might buy you a week's of groceries for those of us that may not have a lot of kids in the house still, right? And the winner of that is, this is not the same chai. This is actually Chi Spencer. So Chi Spencer, I'm going to be dropping off $75 for Safeway to you. How exciting. Congratulations. And we've got next, Cinco de Mayo again. I told you they were kind to us. $25 gift card to Cinco de Mayo again. And this winner is Kathy Cecil. Kathy, you get $25 gift card to Cinco de Mayo.
Great.
Yay, Kathy. Next is a $25 gift card to the Veranda Movie Theater. You want to go to a movie? Veranda is great, by the way. You want to go see a movie? $25 for a movie. So Marilyn Newman, you are heading to the movies.
Woohoo!
So you're going to go enjoy yourself at the movies for $25. Yay. You're going to love that one. I know you are. Next, we've got probably, maybe 5 left. Now, this is Quicklies again, but this one is $25 to Quicklies. And this is going to be Sarah Zeppa. So, Sarah, you get $25 gift card to Quicklies. Next is going to be 7-Eleven. This is a $10 gift card to 7-Eleven. And the winner is Jeanette Mayshore. So Jeanette Mayshore, you just won $10 gift card to 7-Eleven. Yay, Jeanette.
Yeah.
And Jeanette used to be a board member, and I've been trying to talk her to come back, but I don't know. I believe she's on YouTube, so if you hear me, Jeanette. $25, this is a really nice one. $25 to TJ Maxx. Now, who doesn't want to go to TJ Maxx? I'm telling you. And this Veranda is the one where this one came from, by the way, was at the Veranda, just so you guys know. So go patronize them, okay? And the winner of this is going to be Megan Genie. So, Megan, you just won yourself $25 to TJ Maxx. Let's go have some fun at TJ Maxx. And we've got 2 left. No, we've got 3 left. Sorry. We have 3 left. And we have plenty of those left. So hopefully, I hope you guys win something. We got a $20 gift card to Subway. $20 to Subway. And the winner is Phil Schaefer. So Phil and Ricky, you guys are on your way to Subway for $20. Go enjoy yourself. Well, it's Phil that won it, not Ricky, but Phil. All you, Phil. And the next one is Man's Chinese again. Again, they've been very good to us, so please patronize them at Dana Plaza. Dana Plaza needs us as much as we need them. And the winner is Kathy Cecil again. Ooh. So, Kathy, you won. How did she win twice? Because she went and did something. She donated food and took a picture of herself.
Right.
Next is going to be a $10 gift card to 7-Eleven. So 7-Eleven, and by the way, these came from Dana Plaza 7-Eleven, just so you know, but you could go to any 7-Eleven, but, they need us as much as we need them, okay? So the winner there is Becca Corson. So Becca, you just won yourself 7-Eleven gift card. Congratulations on that. And the last prize, and oh my goodness, I don't like nobody not winning. Okay, so the last prize is a $50 gift card to Mann's. Kind of nice to have that one as the last prize. And the winner of the last prize is going to be Kelly Conroy. So Kelly, you just won yourself $50 to Mann's. I would like to say, those of you that didn't win, I so appreciate you guys anyway, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, even though you may not have won a prize. And those of you on Zoom, I really appreciate you guys as well. So I do want to let you know that, of course, you can support us by sending your funds to us to make our events bigger and brighter, especially our October one. We really need money for that one, for October event. Or, of course, you can always go to Smile Amazon and just put Dana Estates in there as your donation place, and you can have fun on Amazon and still donate to Dana. I do want to thank you guys very much for attending, and of course our speakers. I definitely want to thank them. They were wonderful. Our next Dana Night Out will be on June 22nd, and it will be live. We will have the bouncy house again. I'm just believing this, and we will have everything out there for us, and be out there enjoying ourselves in the beautiful sky and talking to our neighbors. So definitely you want to come out to the next Dana Night Out on June 22nd. And my wonderful board, do you have anything to say?
Great night. Great
Thank
to
you
see all the
all.
participants.
Such great
And I do definitely want to thank my board. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys, and I hope you all have a pleasant evening. Anybody else want to say something before we go off? Thank you guys. Happy Dana Night Out.
Thank
See you guys in October and on the street.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.